Regarding sexual energy, there are many individuals that you would have heard of, particular profound individuals, very poignant, very history-defining individuals that have spoken about the secrets of continents and the powers of continents. I'm going to share with you an excerpt from the source Careza Ethics of Marriage, the second edition by Alice B. Stockholm. And this is on page 99 to 100, in which I believe is a direct quote from Isaac Newton himself. So I thought we would go through this together, and I would pass out some of his quotes here and give you some insights. So let's begin. It is important to know that there are other uses for the procreative element than the generation of physical offspring. Far better uses than its waste in momentary pleasure. I've been saying this for as long as I can remember. When I stumbled across some kind of similar particular insight, is that is the generative force, right? Sexual energy is a generating force. It can generate life. It can generate offspring. It can generate children. But what is the primary use of sex today? It's transient and fleeting pleasure. And there are, as Isaac Newton is saying, far better uses of it. And even if you don't agree there are better uses of it, it should make you curious. It should make you curious. So let's continue. It may indeed be better wasted than employed in imposing unwelcome burdens on toil-worn and outraged women. A good little note there in respects to never fucking crazy. Never fucking crazy. It's not a good idea. But there should be no waste. This element, when retained in the system, may be coined into new thoughts, perhaps new inventions, grand concepts of the true, the beautiful, the useful, or into fresh emotions of joy and impulses of kindness and blessings to all around. What a profound insight there. So let's pass out some of this. New thoughts, new inventions. This is speaking to the neurological component. There is some other sources, which we can talk about later in upcoming videos, that speaks about the remarkable relatability of the fluid, the sexual fluid, and the nervous system, the CNS, your central nervous system, your brain and spinal, your spinal column is bathed in CNS, central nervous, CFS it might be. Forgive me, cerebral spinal fluid, CSF, which is like a conducer for the electrical current. So of course, new thoughts, new inventions, grand concepts, as a consequence of you just thinking better, of your nervous system thinking better, the electrical pathways being far smoother. The beautiful, the useful, or into fresh emotions of joy and impulses of kindness and blessings to all around. I'm talking about a healing, or he's talking about a healing, a rewiring of your dopamine centers to not gravitate towards the immediate gratification of things, but to form around and appreciate holistic joy instead of cheap pleasure. This is in fact but another department of procreation. It is the procreation of thoughts, ideas, feelings of goodwill, intuitions of truth. It is procreation on the mental and physical and spiritual planes instead of physical. A remarkably poetic and insightful way to phrase it is that this fluid is creative in its very foundation. And it doesn't have to just pertain to physical creation, but mental creation, to spiritual creation, to emotional creation. You have the principle of creation within you. Procreation on the mental and spiritual planes instead of the physical. Yes. It is just as really a part of the generative function as is the begetting of physical offspring. It is by far the greater part, for physical procreation can ordinarily be participated, I'm guessing, in but seldom, while mental and spiritual procreation may and should go on through all our earthly lives, through all our immortal existence. I mean, it's really speaking about this grander plane of existence beyond the physical, beyond the tangible, beyond the Maya, beyond the matrix, as perhaps Andrew Tate would say, or the Maya, as the Hindus would say. Greater part for physical procreation can ordinarily be participated in, but seldom. We rarely think about the other, because I know it's very trite to say, but thinking with our dicks, thinking about what you can do beyond the very, very cheap 10 seconds of pleasure of dopamine that you get when you are procreating. We're constantly in a season of mating. What happens when you forego the seasons of mating and actually bring your attention to your life circumstances? Are you content with the ideas that you're having in the moment? Do you feel creative? If you don't feel creative, stop wasting the creative principle. The creative principle is really something to meditate on very, very deeply. And I love that example. I think it's a very, very poetic way of doubling down and re-understanding and reaffirming that we have the divine, cosmos, universe, God's powers of creation. We can create. That is not something to underestimate. You are creator. Start creating. Speak soon.